Bob Does Sports. Let's just get right into it. Like the start of it, obviously we've told the story how you met Joey at the hotel in the hotel business, and then I've heard the story, but I kind of want to I want to set the scene for everyone at home. Like, how did Bob Does Sports come together? Because I watched it. Like I was there right at the beginning, watching you guys kind of start this thing. I remember we filmed like very early on for GM, me and Grant, with you and Joey.
And I'm not just saying this because you're here. I say to the guys all the time, you were huge for me for getting into the golf world, because he had me on in Good when we didn't even do golf content, or I don't even think Bob Does Sports started then. It was just Brilliantly Dumb
wow. at in California.
Yep.
What course was that?
It was in the little valley.
Yeah, the casino course, the casino.
The bucket hat. I looked ridiculous.
To the bridge to Terabithia.
Yes, by the casino.
Yes.
By the casino. Yes.
What's it called?
Couldn't tell you. but I know exactly what you're talking about.
It was with AJ Poole.
Yes.
Oh,
that's exactly right. That was the first one we did. So you got me really into the golf. I didn't really even golf at the time either. So like you really got me into it. It was awesome.
They were calling you. I'm sorry. I just thought it was so funny. I didn't really know your skill level either. I mean, you've gotten so much better. Can we talk about that? Like, you really have gotten a lot better at golf. But I remember, like, your nickname was Bobby Fairways, and I didn't see you at a single fairway.
Well, the reason they call me Bobby Fairways is when I played 36 holes with my friends, and I didn't hit one fairway. So the Bobby Fairways thing, people will say it to me, they're like, you don't hit any fairways. I was like, yeah, well, that's how I got the name. They were calling me Bobby Fairways. I didn't come remotely close to a fairway.
It's a good way to get a nickname.
Yeah, but with Bob Does Sports, I was really in a low time because I left the Bro Bible, really took a chance with this podcast company, and it ended up really not working out. I had to go on my own. I had another podcast going with a guy that was really picking up steam. He just left it. Like, he just decided one day it was just done out of nowhere. So I was at the lowest of my low.
If you don't mind me asking, like, why did it not work out with this podcast company?
It was a podcast called Pantry Boys, and it was a food podcast, and there really wasn't much like it at the time. And this guy, Nicky Cass, granted, he was really young at the time. He was in school, but he was good. And, we had these talks of all these brands we were going to bring in and what we were going to do. And then maybe a few days after we had that talk, we were all fired up. He's like, I can't do anymore. I got too much on my plate.
Wow.
Which, granted, look, he was young. He was in college. Like, I get it. But at the same time, I was fighting for my life. And the job that I had left, that was the only salary I had. So that Pantry Boys podcast, that was all I had left.
Yeah.
So once he left, I was like, I'm not going to go back to the Four Seasons because I've gotten like a taste of what this is like full time. This is what I want to do. But I don't have any money. So like Jet was working for me at the time. I had no money to pay him. And then I hit up a guy named Reed who I would send in my videos when I worked in the overnight shift to. They have a ton of different like big Instagram pages called Doing Things Media. So I would send them my videos in the overnight shift. I would just rapid fire videos. So I ended up talking to him through that. We always wanted to work together. It never worked out because I was with the company or whatnot. So I was finally free. I was like, hey, I'm free. Maybe we could start something. That's where we had then came up with the idea of doing Bob Does Sports because we were finally at that time able to work for each other together. But at that time when Bob Does Sports was starting, it was like do or die. It was
right. Well, a couple things. I mean, first thing, obviously, back against the wall, like you have to make something happen, which like obviously. Good on you for making Bob Does Sports happen. But do you feel like there was ever like a low point at which you were kind of like, I actually think I'm going to go back to working a job pre-Bob Does Sports?
In my head, it was like, I will have to go like about to be homeless till I go back to the Four Seasons. And not that, not that I didn't like the Four Seasons because I did, but I got a taste of what I wanted to do my whole life. So it was just such do or die. And then I had Jet too, so it was really even bigger than me because he left his job to work with me.
Wow.
And I had no money to pay him. It was
that's
awful.
Loyalty right there. Too.
Oh, he was. I mean, I told him, I was like, look, I want you to know, the Brilliantly Dumb show was with a guy named Jersey Jerry, who Dave tried to hire before, and Jerry stayed with me to go to this company with. That's why the whole full circle thing comes. When I left that podcast, the podcast company that I was with, Jerry was going to leave with me, and then Dave offered him again. So that just lost Jerry.
Because now he's at Barstool.
Correct. Yeah, it's crazy how full. And I knew I couldn't keep him because he came with me before for a lower salary. And once Dave came in, like I couldn't compete with Dave. You know, there was no dog. Yeah, there was no way. And he stuck with me for the first time. Then Dave came back. I was like, oh, there goes Jerry, who I really thought was the key ingredient to it all.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think like how big this world is, but how small it is at the same time.
It's crazy.
Everybody knows everybody.
It's nuts.
Like I would have never, if you didn't tell me that, I would have never known that Jersey Jerry was, doing stuff with you. Probably.
Yeah. After the Internet Invitational, I got pretty emotional after it by myself when I came back to my room because I just couldn't believe it was all over. I was so happy it was all done and it went well, but just how full circle everything was. Jerry was supposed to play with it. He had a kid, so he didn't play in it, but he was supposed to be in it. But yeah, I had no money, so I told Jed, I was like, look, I don't have any money to pay you. But I really think this thing's going to pop off. If you just hang with me, I promise, when it does hit, and if it hits, I'll really take good care of you. And he didn't flinch. I mean, you would think at that time that he would kind of tone it back a little bit because, he'd look into other things. He's not getting paid. He, ramped it up times 10 during that time. He went off.
Yeah, that's a teammate right there.
Oh.
He's willing to go through the depths of everything to get to the good side.
Yeah.
And it's also good on you for sticking true to your word too. Jet's probably killing it now. Obviously, Bob Does Sports is to the moon. So that's a testament to loyalty right there. But I also wanted to talk about one thing because at the start of Bob Does Sports, it was Bob Does Sports. It's not Bob Does Golf. And I remember at the beginning, prior to you getting into the golf world, we were talking and having some conversations you had showed up to one of our YouTube videos right after watching little people fight in a mall.
Correct.
And refereeing it.
Yeah. So we were trying anything. I'll go down that. We did it. It happened. So there was a lot of man on the street type stuff originally, Bob Does Sports. So you got to be like, what the hell? So
Blake's learning a lot today.
I'm in.
So Bob Does Sports started. It was a lot of man on the street stuff where I would interview people outside of different games. We would go to an Ole Miss game and interview people outside there and document the entire experience. But it just wasn't sustainable to get 4 videos out a month, going to each stadium and doing it. So we're trying everything. So we had the idea that I was going to referee what's called Micromania, and it's little people wrestling. They call it midget wrestling, so that's what they call it.
I've seen the clips; they're awesome.
Yeah, so they're you're going to go and you're going to ref midget wrestling. So it's at this mall, this rundown mall. It was brutal. I'm at the low, Bob Does Sports. These videos we're not doing. It's not hitting. It's not working. We're trying anything. So we go to this mall and I'm going to referee it. And they take you in the back and they kind of tell you it's a big crowd. And you got some characters. Think of the people that would, go to view this thing. You got some characters out there.
I'm sure.
I brought Big Ticket with me, who was working at the Four Seasons still at the time. And
dude, all these people are so full circle.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
So
the Big Ticket
this
was
is
there
how
at
it's
this
going to
time.
go. This is how the match is going to go. And he's going to pin him at a certain time. Obviously, it's staged. He's going to pin him, and you do the 3 count. So they're filming Jets going around the ring, and the guy goes to, instead of 50 Cent, his name was 25 Cent. And I'm just dead serious. He goes to pin him, and I forget to do the 3 count. So the midgets look up at me what are you doing? You're not, how come you're not doing 3? So they have to keep wrestling because the match isn't over yet. So finally, the crowd starts to realize, the ref is the one botching this whole thing. And I hope I could say this, maybe you could bleep it, Max, but all of a sudden, a chant goes out. Mind you, I'm at the lowest of my low. We're trying anything. You hear a chant of, Bob sucks. Bob sucks. So I realize that they realize how bad I just screwed up, and I look out into this crowd. The guy who started the chant and is on the table doing it is Ticket. Ticket started the chant. So he's screaming, the louder than anybody, Bob sucks. They're booing me. It was awful. But yeah, and then golf came around. But that's how it started, and Ticket was the one who started the chant.
That's so good.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't think you knew what you were getting there.
Yeah, I got that.
That's really what happened, though, Max.
That was before. That wasn't the day before. No.
It was.
That was just happening around.
No, this was quite literally right before him and I had filmed the June golf video.
Yeah.
He shows up to the course and he's like, "Yeah, I just was at this mall, like wrestling little people."
I told you. I was not
like,
going
Bob.
back to that Four Seasons.
Yeah,
I
clearly
was going
not.
to try whatever it took.
Clearly not.
Yeah. You're right, though. We did that match like
It was
right
after. I think it might have been like the day after, the day of. I don't know. Wow. Let's call it a floor.
Yeah. You take it from there, Blake. Yeah.
I gotta, oh my gosh. That's unbelievable. Well, so that's the start of Bob Does Sports.
Yeah.
I can't believe Big Ticket. They're all there with you through the lot of all of it.
Oh, yeah. And at that time,
You're doing whatever.
Jersey Jerry's fighting in Rough and Rowdy for Barstool, and it's like the biggest thing, which obviously, of course, I was pulling for Jerry, but I'm seeing now Jerry's having this crazy success, and we're in the back room watching his fight. He was doing this Rough and Rowdy thing they do, and Jerry was like huge. It was amazing.
Yeah. And now look at it. You know where it's at now.
Yeah.
So, from the fans' perspective, I feel like when you see characters in a group, obviously you're just like, oh, that's just them. Like, they've been there for so long, whatever. Like, I just, again, like, I kind of wanted to get in the story because I remember when it was just you, and then it was Joey, right? And then FP came along. Obviously, Jet's there. Ticket's kind of in the picture. Talk about FP coming along into Bob Does Sports. After you guys, now you've started golf. You know, you've done the video where you take FP to, what is it, Victoria Links? Or,
That was Joe to Links of Victoria.
Yeah, sorry, not FP.
No.
Yeah, Joe. Yeah, Joe.
Awesome.
Yeah. So you've done that kind of content. Now you have FP come along. What's the story there?
Yeah, so a little before we started Bob Does Sports, I was still doing the Brilliant Show, which we're still doing. And it was still when I was with Bro Bible, we would do these. It was during COVID, so we were doing these Zoom happy hours as part of a Patreon for the podcast. So that was like an extra episode to bring money in and give for fans, like the hardcore fans. They would pay monthly, and once a month we would do these happy hours, and it was a blast. So, you know, we would drink and we would run the show on these happy hours. And during one of them, Joe texted me, and, you know, we're drinking, we're having a good time, we're doing the podcast. He's like, you're on a Zoom so you can see everybody. He's like, do you see this Fat Perez guy? And I looked into the Zoom, and I see a guy in his cubicle just, like, crushing pizza, which clearly he's at work, eating pizza and drinking beers. And we would, like, call different fans up and have them talk. We'd ask them questions, and FP came on. And I was like, man, this guy's awesome. And then even before Bob Does Sports, we were then in Pinehurst. This is like building up to Bob Does Sports. We're at Pinehurst. FP reached out to Joe. He's like, I'm in the area. I could come by. So we played golf with FP. And there was a guy that we were with who was hosting us, and we're at dinner. FP comes, and he asked FP, he's like, do you play golf? He goes, yeah, I'm scratch. And the guy dropped his fork. He's like, you're a scratch golfer? He's like, yeah, I'm a scratch golfer. He's like, if you're a scratch golfer, we're playing Pinehurst number 2 tomorrow. We need a 4th. Show up at 8:30. So
Wow.
FP, of course, bails out of work, and he plays with us. I was like, this guy's unbelievable. Then when Bob Does Sports started, we needed a 4th for the match that we played against Barstool, and he made the most sense to be the 4th. So that was like the first
So that was
time.
his first one.
Not his first one. We had like done a couple videos with him before, like part-time stuff, and then we needed the 4th, so where it's like, all right, that makes a ton of sense to have.
That's when you knew you had something there.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was that would have been you, Jet, and Joey.
Yep.
And then FP against Foreplay.
Correct.
I remember that video.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was like one of his first official where you guys realized like.
Yeah, that was like his like coming out party with Barstool. We owe a lot to Barstool even for that. Then we were playing against Foreplay. They dropped that video, and for FP, I mean, Bob Does Sports already caught some steam because that Links of Victoria video, but then they got their eyes on FP, and that really took it to another level.
So one thing that I've noticed with you is like you definitely have an eye for characters, right? Like the people that you've done stuff with. I think what's really cool about y'all and everything is, and we've tried to do the same thing where it's like Colin and Max are very well-known characters, even though they're most of the time behind the camera and they're not golfers. Like one thing that you've done with the Jet, Ticket, and then I think now you have a younger new
Jensen, yeah.
Jensen it just seems like everybody that you're kind of involved with, they're all characters. Is that by design, or is that something that just happens naturally where you vibe with somebody and then all of a sudden they're kind of a part of the group? Because that's kind of how it is with us.
Yeah, it's a good question. It really, like, I knew they had, to me, what mattered to me more with the content, I knew they would know how to edit, but like the comedic timing of it all, and Max, like, I'm sure you guys see, like, having that comedic timing of knowing what to edit, how to edit it was, to me, the biggest thing. And I knew Jet had that, and I had known Ticket from working at the Four Seasons. He worked at the pool. Joe was his boss. So I knew, it's crazy. So I knew Ticket, I knew he had it. I knew he knew how to edit and whatnot. So when he came in, it was originally just to be a producer. So it really wasn't by design, to answer your question, but then you see how good they are, not just of what they do, but then behind the camera. Like, they know how to get us going, and they're so funny that it's kind of built that way to where they've really become talent. Like, they're in front of the camera a ton as well as behind it, and it's worked out great. So no, not by design, but it kind of worked out that way.